On Reddit, these are a few animal encounter stories that stood out to me. Wait till you hear the last one. Reddit user edgun8819 said, I was diving at night in the Cayman Islands. I came across an octopus bro chilling on a rock. I had a light with me but didn't shine it in his face to freak him out. I shined it to the side and gave enough light for both of us to see each other. I reached out my hand towards him, and he reached out a tentacle, and we shook hands/tentacles and held on to each other for a few seconds. Then I pulled away, and he let go, and we both drifted off into the sea. I always saw this as him greeting me to his rock home. It was a really cool experience interacting with a wild octopus. I like to think that he went back and told his family the same story over dinner that night. Reddit user Westbrink said, I was cowboy camping, no tent, in Lyle Canyon in Yosemite once, when I hear something sniff right next to my head. My sleep-addled brain thinks it's a ranger on a horse telling me to move my camp. I had hiked about 20 miles that day. You have to be at least 4 miles into the canyon to camp, and I wasn't 100% sure I'd made it far enough since it was dark when I set up camp. Anyways, I say, just 1 second, sit up, grope for my flashlight, and turn it on to see a black bear a couple feet away. I holler, he tears off. I get out and empty my bladder and try to fall back asleep until I hear him coming around again. I make a bunch more noise, decide I'm not getting any more sleep, break camp, and slowly night hike until the sun rises. Reddit user Colum Whelan said, When I was 12, a young stallion decided he wanted to play with me and almost killed me. He kicked and bit me and tried to trample me. He was my pet and was only treating me the way he'd treat a peer. I even knew that while it was happening. I made a huge mistake by turning my back on him while he was playful. He bit me and pulled me down, knocked me down a couple of more times with a forefoot when I tried to get up, reared up over me to stamp me a couple of times too. Still have the scar on my leg, and that was a long time ago. Literally pissed myself during. My dad basically saved my life by chasing him off. His response was, that was close. What did you learn? Reddit user Lorio1965 said, I live in NH in a little neighborhood. Was walking my dog, who stays with me, weighs 5 pounds. She gets all barky and starts running to the edge of the woods. I call her back, but no go. I pretend I'm going to leave her and start walking. She comes, but watches the woods. I look in, and there's a bobcat following us, not 5 feet from the edge. I pick up Hazel and walk backwards to home. The bobcat followed us at a distance all the way home, crossed my front yard, went under my neighbor's house, came out later and caught a squirrel, then went back up to the woods. Reddit username that's been deleted said, I moved to Colorado. About a month in, one night I had gone to bed and woke up on severe pain hours later. I felt nausea, throbbing pain around my abdomen, my muscles and back ached. I turned on the lights, and I had in my sleep rolled over a black widow spider and crushed it to death, which at some point had bit me. Its carcass lay in my bed. I freaked out, called 911, and put it in a mason jar so they thought I wasn't crazy. I was brought to the hospital where they treated me with pain management medications. The venom continued to spread. Every muscle ached and felt as though my body was being crushed. It soon began to get hard to breathe, and my blood pressure became irregular. The morphine has me drifting in and out of sleep. I prayed to God, who hours earlier I wasn't even sure I believed in. 12 hours, I discharged. The venom ran its course for about 4 days, and his bite site intermittently itched for weeks. For the next year or two, I had anxiety trying to go to sleep and reoccurring nightmares of the experience. Stupid black widow spiders. Reddit user CatMama2 said, in Costa Rica, we enjoyed a private tour to the rainforest to do some bird watching. I told our guide that I have always wanted to see a sloth, and it would be a bucket list experience for me. We saw 7 sloths on that tour, and it was so beautiful. While on our way to lunch, the van passed by what I thought was an old garbage bag. It was actually a sloth that was covered in green moss, and he was right beside a very busy road. I quickly told everyone what I had seen, and I've never seen a person jump out of a vehicle as fast as our guide did to run back to the sloth as our van turned around and parked. No one was allowed to touch the sloth until a conservation officer arrived. so we stood as a protective guard to keep him safe from the dangers around him. The officer arrived after 10 minutes and carried the sloth deep into the trees on the side of the road the sloth had been trying to reach. My gravestone can now simply read, "Here lies Cat Mama 2, who helped to save a sloth." If you'd like to hear more real animal encounter stories, please let me know in the comments and subscribe to my channel.